Hey everybody, and welcome to That Zany Travel Couple's van tour. I'm Will, and I'm going to be your tour guide today, so come along. So this is our van. Her name is Breezy. You all saw pictures of her when we first picked her up in New Jersey. But this is the beautiful design that Escape has given her. It's a painting of Chicago, hence the name Breezy, since Chicago is the Windy City. Ha 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 ha, right? Anyway, so that was the passenger side, so we had our door into the back of the van here, and now we have the actual rear of the van. Anyway, you're probably wondering what it's like living inside the van, so come on in! So back here we have our main living... Natalie, what are you doing?
It's not what it looks like.
Are you drinking hot sauce again? We're doing the tour!
Okay, listen, I was craving it. I was getting a craving.
Okay, well, do you want to take over this part?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the inside of Breezy. Here, we got a table. This table here actually comes in and out. So we usually put it up during the day if we want to pull off to the side and eat with a great view, or if I want to get my work done, because this is kind of like my makeshift office back here. And it also comes out nice and easy. You just kind of like twist that off, and it converts into our bed, which is really nice. So this model that we got is the Big Sur. We thought we actually got a free upgrade, which is pretty sweet. We were going to get the Maverick actually, but it worked out for the better because this is so much more spacious and nice for living in for 2 months.
So she just ran off with the hot sauce.
Can't tell me how to live my life!
Yeah, where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm going to drink my hot sauce in peace!
I'll take back over from here. So, as she was saying, back here we have the table that lifts out, and then the pole falls down like that. It's normally smoother than that, I swear, but hey, this is van living. The top stows back here very nicely, and there's no home for the pole. It just rolls around. It's very fun to hear it clang. So over here we have one of our purchases along the way, which is a power inverter. This is how we get our electricity. As you can see, we have a number of things plugged into it. We get 3 outlets, so I'm charging my laptop with the USBs. We're also charging our Wi-Fi hotspot, which we borrowed from the library. It's normally stowed in this red bag over here. We're also in the USBs is Natalie's phone. Hopefully she won't need that. Under the bench I'm sitting on, we have our drawers. 1 drawer for me, 2 drawers for Natalie. Makes sense. It really does. Over here we have our laundry bag where we put our dirty clothes until it's time to wash them. And under the bench with my laptop, we have a hidey hole where we keep our larger clothes, robes, sweatshirts, jackets, as well as our toiletries, our shampoos, any medications like Advil, anything that we might need but won't need very often. And then when it's time to sleep, we come over here and we pull the bed out. We have to make sure the pole is on the ground and the laundry bag is down. Then we simply unlatch it on this side and slide it out. Laundry bag got caught. Pull this over and flip this cushion down. Voila! Now it just needs the sheets. Okay, so back there is our living space. Up front is more of our storage and driving space. Come on. So this is what we are calling the middle seat. There are only 2 rows of seats, but it's the second row in the middle of the van, so it's the middle seat. The Big Sur is the only one that has this. The Maverick was smaller. It was just going to be the front 2 seats and then immediately the bed/table area. We're enjoying having this seat because, as you can see, we're storing a lot of our stuff here. This is the entertainment bag. I know it says Nikon, but that's a lie. In it, we're keeping all of our games, electronics, any wires that we have to charge them, stuff to keep us entertained when we're not driving or working. Here we have Natalie's bag full of all her accoutrements. I'm going to respect her privacy and not go through them. Back over here is where we store the sheets during the daytime. We figure no one's going back in this corner, so this is where they can stay in the meantime. And it makes sense. Underneath them is where we also stow all of our souvenirs, anything that we buy that we're planning on bringing back, but aren't going to need for the trip. Up in the floor here, we have my backpack. This is where I'm storing all of my camera equipment, and I carry it out, so it stays right here. It's very out of the way, but yeah. Behind it, we have our cooler. We have a few drinks as well as cups there. And behind the cooler, we have our lawn chairs. Our nice campground chairs that we set up, the folding chairs. That's what they're called, folding chairs. I remember them now. We bring them out whenever we're set up at a... Blep. I'm losing it, Beb. Then under the middle seat is our shoe stow. It's just a nice convenient place for us to keep all of our shoes so they're out of the way. You know, it wouldn't be very convenient to have to waddle through our shoes as we're trying to move around the van. On the side we have the first aid kit. It's just an easy access place for it. We've rarely had to use it, mostly for blisters from new shoes, breaking them in, you know, but it's there in case we need it, and we keep it easy access. So back here we have the kitchenette. It might look a bit full, and that's because it is. We have our sink here. It's a nice fun pump sink. You have to pump it, and then there's the water. It makes washing hands very fun. Underneath the sink we have our stove for non-refrigerated food. We have bread out front. We move that. We get access to everything else. Pickled mushrooms, jellies, jams, ramen, rice, spaghetti. We also keep our plates under here. Easy stow. We stow them upside down so as to not get dirty. So this is the drink pouch. I made it out of duct tape. This way it can swing out and get out of the way. Easy storage. Inside we have stainless steel straws in case we want to drink something through a straw but not, you know, ruin the planet. We have the cleaner for it. A bunch of these containers of strange powder, which Natalie assures me is for smoothies in the morning. And then 2 little pouches for sugars for our coffee. Or tea. Because I drink tea. Because tea is fine. Behind the pouch, I keep our cutting board next to the large store of smoothies and extra sugars back there. Here we have what seems to be a sauce station, and it is and isn't, because behind the sauce we have a bunch of other stuff. Well, first off, this is also hot sauce. Yeah, focus on that hot sauce. Look how spicy it is. I'm glad Natalie didn't run off with this one. Behind the sauces, we had a number of different cooking implements. We have an electric kettle, which inside we have this water bottle I use as a funnel to fill up our water tank. It is quite necessary. And the pour-over coffee. So you put a filter in there, you put coffee grinds in the filter, you stick this on your cup and pour hot water on it. So this becomes a nice little coffee machine. We also have our pots and pans. It's so tight you have to take the big pot lid off first, otherwise it won't fit out. The big pot. These are our cooking implements. We have big pan, big pot, little pot pan. I think it's supposed to be a pan, but it reminds me more of a squat pot, so I'm calling it the squat pot now. And we also have the small pot. Cool removable handle for the squat pot and the small pot. Behind there we have our Tupperwares, coffees, teas, lighters, and the spatula. To the left of that we have an empty pickle jar. I think Nat ate all the pickles too. They were spicy pickles, I can't blame her. We also have soup storage, fixins for s'mores, as well as, I believe, back here, I'm glad Natalie didn't find this one, we have raspberry jalapeno jelly. Over here on the side, we have Benefiber. Gotta make sure you're regular. we have marshmallows and duct tape, because duct tape is one of the most useful tools you'll ever have, as well as this plastic bin which contains reusable wipes that are supposed to be more planet friendly and also more van friendly because we don't have to carry around 3 to 4 rolls of paper towels. We also have Natalie's acupuncture mat. It's very pokey. On the other side we have bug spray, Ziploc bags, garbage bags, sponges, snacks. Underneath the snacks, we have a grill that goes on top of a fire pit, as well as extendable forks that we can put marshmallows and hot dogs on to roast them over the campfires when we're allowed to have them. We also have napkins stowed there, as well as, of course, all of our sink fix-ins, our sponge, soap, and hand soap. Fun fact, the sponge and the soap have to get stowed in the sink. This way they don't this way the soap doesn't fall over and explode all over the place. We learned that for 2 days. 2 days. 2 days. And finally, the bottom row of the kitchenette. Oh, go back in there. Go away. Over here, we have our propane grill. This might make noise as I pull it out. It's okay, I promise. Hey, it didn't this time. I stow the propane tanks in there. Sometimes they fall back in there and just make a noise. I also stow our strainer in there and inside paper bowls for when we have ramen or soup. We don't have it that often, which is why we do the paper bowls. We have our Brita filter that gets stowed there. Each morning we fill this thing up like 4 or 5 times to make coffee, fill up jugs, refill water. I'm not sure if it's been shown in any pictures, but Natalie has a huge jug. I'm not even sure how many ounces it holds. So, inside the grill is the propane stick. You have to pull it out. It screws on the side, and then you put a propane tank there. Wind guards, so that your propane flame doesn't go out. And your controls. You twist counterclockwise to turn on, and clockwise to turn off. And you have to remember to put this up when you push it back in. Otherwise, that happens. Here we have our spice cabinet. In it, you have your usual spices, your salt, your pepper, your crushed red pepper flakes, paprika, Italian seasoning, parsley, onion, garlic. And finally, we come to the fridge. The fridge looks small, but it actually holds a lot. It looks like a mess, but I swear it's organized. We have cheeses, pepper jack, cheddar, beef patties for when we want to do burgers, ground beef for if we want to do tacos or meatballs or anything. Here we have hummus, some leftovers. We're keeping these. This is a new addition. We just bought some seltzers because apparently it is impossible to find seltzers in the Midwest. So we made sure to semi-stock up, and by semi-stock up, we got 8 cans. So please send help. We have other seasonings in here and such. Up here is our milk and butter, our dairy section. And yeah, as you can see, it holds a lot more than you would think from the outside. And finally, we have the cab. This is where I feel like I spend a majority of my time. We have over in my door, I have a bunch of holders that are holding nothing. They sometimes hold water bottles because you have to make sure you stay hydrated. I did faint in Yellowstone because I wasn't hydrated enough. Make sure you stay hydrated. I keep lip balm in here because my lips get very chapped. Speaking of, I should apply some. We also bought a small inverter to keep up here because as I'm playing music and doing directions, my phone's going to need to charge. And it's also handy to have another outlet on a different circuit because sometimes we can overload them and they won't actually charge. Over in the passenger seat is Natalie's station. She keeps her backpack and essential oils and her fanny pack here. Kitty fanny pack. Here is the infamous jug. Let's see, I have the numbers now. It is 116 ounces of water. It is exactly how much you are supposed to drink in one day. It starts at 7 a.m., goes all the way to 9 p.m., and then you've had a full hydrated day. And you won't faint like me. here we have our 2 travel companions. Everyone must have travel companions. I would like you to meet Mr. Meatball Mars and Schmeb. Any questions? Good. In the glove compartment, we are keeping all of the maps for all of the national parks and trails that we go on. Like, here is Grand Teton. We have some of the campground maps in there, you know, just mementos.
Show the passport, too.
We are also keeping a national park passport. We have a bunch of different... This was the first national park we went to. We didn't really know how to do the passport yet, so A, this is in the wrong section, and B, we went a little happy with the stamps. It's called a cancellation, actually. This is the official one. Then we have this really cool one of, like, buffaloes with a guy walking underneath them in the cave. Over here we have, I'm not even sure quite what that... Oh, it looks like it's supposed to be a bison. I see 2 horns. Yeah. And then finally, the one that we got really... you know, trigger happy about with those stamps, the Junior Ranger Wind Cave National Park stamp. I am now a Junior Ranger. Send help. Over here we have our clean station. This is a makeup sponge, I believe.
It's actually it's a shower sponge.
This is a shower sponge. We have tissues, as well as wet naps, and a smaller pack of tissues, because you can never have enough tissues. We have Natalie's coffee cup holder over here. It does a very nice job holding her coffee. And then in the doorway of Natalie's side, we have our hand sanitizer, a cup of spare change, because who knew you need spare change to exist in the world, as well as spray sunscreen and a little lantern that we use when it gets dark and we don't have a fire, can't have a fire, or for whatever reason don't have an other source of light. So anyway, thanks for tuning into the That Zany Travel Couples van tour, but I think I need to go find Natalie. I don't think I can leave her in Nevada, so bye. Nat? There you are.
Wait, what?
We gotta go. I finished the van tour.
Where are we?
We're at the Great Basin National Park right now. We gotta check out.
What time zone is it? It keeps saying 1 hour, then it switches to the other hour, then it's the 1 hour, and it's so confusing.
It's okay. Just come back to the van with me, okay?
Ooh,